Welcome to the Cuyahoga Land Bank Buying a Home to Renovate program. Before you attempt to buy a house from the Cuyahoga Land Bank, please consider the following. The prospective buyer must not own any property with code enforcement violations or have a history of code enforcement violations. Not own any property with a history of criminal activity during the buyer's ownership. Not only own any property that is tax delinquent. Not have lost any title or had any filings against any properties within the past 3 years. The buyer must use the property consistent with current zoning requirements of the respective municipality, must comply with all fair housing and market regulations, and must reside in Cuyahoga County or designate a local agent authorized to accept notice on behalf of the purchaser if the buyer is not a Cuyahoga County resident. In the deed and escrow program, the buyer creates a project timeline and budget with land bank staff. The deed is then held in escrow until the project is completed and a certificate of occupancy is obtained. The buyer is responsible for all renovation and labor costs in obtaining permits. If the project is not completed on time, the buyer loses the financial investment unless an extension is provided by the land bank at the land bank's sole discretion. Staff will inspect the property when the renovations have been completed to make sure that the property has been renovated to the agreed upon standard. In order to be considered for deed and escrow, a prospective purchaser should do the following. First, the buyer should fill out a property purchase application, which can be found at our website at cuyahogalandbank.org. Secondly, the buyer should attach all necessary documentation or the buyer's application may not be considered. Thirdly, land bank staff will perform background checks as it relates to previous real estate transactions and current property holdings. Be patient. A member of our staff will contact you within 14 business days after your application is turned in to discuss your application and the properties that you are interested in pursuing. A viewing of the property can be scheduled for further rehabilitation and assessment at your request. And finally, make your best offer. A word about housing quality standards. The Land Bank insists on high quality standards. These standards establish the minimum renovation threshold for land bank properties. To learn more about the Land Bank standards, again, please go to our website at www.cuyahogalandbank.org. To learn more about the Cuyahoga County Land Bank and how to search for homes that you may want to purchase, please visit us at www.cuyahogalandbank.org.
Now we're going to walk through how to search houses on our website to renovate. Just type in www.cuyahogalandbank.org. That's going to take you to our home page. Once you're on our home page, there's a menu tab at the top of the screen, and you see the button Engage Us. Under Engage Us, there's the button Buying a House to Renovate. Once you click that, you're taken to our page with several houses in our inventory along with the program standards we reviewed earlier underneath that list. But if you want to see more houses to choose from to renovate, you just click on See More Land Bank Properties. Again, now here's a full listing of all of the homes in our inventory that are available. You simply click on the parcel number. For example, this home here shows you an individual profile page for this house. There are several things we can do. We can look at pictures of the house from the interior and exterior. If we scroll down here, we actually see the information about the property, including the parcel number, address, the list price of the house, the auditor's fair market value, location. Also then you get sort of the property characteristics, whether or not it's a two-family or single-family, the square footage, lot size, year built, number of bedrooms. In addition to that, then you also see the address information for the house in an embedded Google map. Also you can do satellite view. We can zoom in, zoom out. And if we scroll back to the top of the page, it'll take us to the link to the property purchaser application we discussed earlier. So let's click on that. It'll open in a new window. And here's the property purchaser application. You can see pretty much you're filling out your contact information, the information for the property, the program, the planned use for the property, your financing, and again, give us 14 days for the application to be processed. Gives you information how to send the application out. We're going to go back to the property profile page. Now I'm going to click on our Housing Quality Standards page that, again, we referenced earlier is a minimum set of expectations for renovation. Again, we can't anticipate everything, but this really sets out sort of a set of expectations for the electrical, heating, plumbing that you need to abide by, and so you have this available to read on the website. Back to the property profile page. We're going to go to look at the property transfer policy and rehabilitation programs. This is pretty much a summary, actually, on the Buying a House to Renovate page that we first went to that really lays out what we talked about in Dennis's presentation earlier. Again, we go over the property transfer policies, the two different types of sales, what you need to consider before qualifying for the program. And then again, we have the housing quality standard links, the property purchaser links available on this page as well. And now I'm going to turn this back to Dennis for a recap.
To recap, remember, the prospective buyer must have no code violations with property that he or she currently owns, must not own any property with a history of criminal activity during the buyer's ownership, must not own any property that is tax delinquent, and must not have had any foreclosure filings against the buyer or properties that the buyer owns within the last 3 years. Remember, engage us again at www.cuyahogalandbank.org. Come to our website, view our properties, fill out an application, review our housing quality standards, and we look forward to working with you. For more information, please contact Ian Ahern, our housing manager, 216-698-6626. Good luck.